Hey, we've got some friends coming for dinner tonight, and one couple is my Thermomix team leader, Michelle, who is a great friend I've known for many years now. And it's always nice to try and find something different that maybe she hasn't made to make in my Thermomix. So I am going to make this whipped brie with fruit and nut caramel crunch. So basically what happens is you make the fruit and nut caramel crunch, and which I'm going to do now, it has to set. And then near the time you take the rind off the brie and you whip it up. And then you serve it with the caramel crunch, some chopped up figs and some prosciutto. And obviously some biscuits to put it all onto, but I thought it'd be a bit of fun. And it uses high heat, it uses sugar stages, so it goes up to 170 degrees in this recipe. So let's start cooking. Baking tray is here. My baking tray ready lined. And then this is the fruit that's going to go into the caramel mixture. So I've got 50 grams of dried apricots. And then I'm meant to have 50 grams of shelled salted pistachios. I don't have them, so I'm using some salted almonds. We're also having a cake that's got pistachio nuts in it. I've used all my nuts in. Oops. Oh, 1 second on speed 8. I'm going to be very speedy here. I might pull out a couple of those apricots and do them again, but just pull those out by hand. I think the rest of it's okay. A few of those apricots need another go, but I don't want to chop the nuts up anymore. Okay. So I'm going to pop them into a little container. And I'm actually going to do that for a little bit longer with these. So I'm going to go back. I can adjust the time, so I'm going to do it for 3 seconds and keep an eye on it. So I did it for 2, stopped it. I'll have a look. Yeah, I'm much happier with that. Look at that. So I've got a few bigger bits in here, but that's actually fine. So there we go. So set aside and continue with the recipe. Okay. Now, with the sugar stages, it's really important that you follow the recipe properly. I've got apricot everywhere now. So it says, to guarantee the success of the recipes using sugar stages, the ingredients used must match exactly the quantity and description given. The recipe should also be cooked immediately after placing the ingredients in the bowl. So 250 grams of raw sugar. Okay. Oops, forgot to get a spoon for my glucose. Oh, and of course I've got to get it open. Happy. 20 grams of glucose syrup. So I have no idea how much it weighs. So I'm going to go gently with this. So there we go. That's obviously plenty. And 70 grams of water. So I'm going to use my MC, which is actually a measuring cup. Water everywhere. Throwing it all down the Thermomix, we'd probably be on 70 grams. And just going to check this and wipe it out. Okay. I see I've got a little bit of sugar on the top of the blade, so I'm just moving that off there. And this is what sugar stages looks like. And it's going to go for 18 minutes. It would be super, super boring waiting here. So I'm going to pause this video and we're going to come back at the end. Now, at the end, when you've done sugar stages, it's really important to be on the ball because you have to act quickly. Okay. So my sugar stages are nearly done. So whilst I'm waiting for that to happen, because it will have to happen fairly quickly, I'm going to quickly show you what the recipe looks like. So there it is, whipped brie with fruit and nut caramel crunch. So basically what I have done is try to take as much of the rind off the brie as possible, which you can't see because we're looking at the recipe. But anyway, I'll show you that in a moment. And you, after this sugar stages thing, so pour caramel onto a prepared baking tray and tilt to form a thin layer, then immediately scatter with the fruit and nut mixture and set aside to harden. And what you have to do very quickly is pop in the water and the white vinegar, otherwise it gets really stuck on the bowl. Then the brie, which is triple cream brie, rind removed, brought to room temperature. My advice to you is to cut the rind off before you bring it to room temperature because it was, reasonably tricky. I tried, so with the brie, hang on, let's finish this. Spread the whipped brie over a platter or a serving board, arrange the figs and prosciutto and break the caramel crunch into bite-sized pieces and scatter over the top. Micro herbs I couldn't find, but I do have some Mary's crackers. So there we go. That's our nibbles. 34 seconds to go. So there is my brie. It's got a little bit of rind on it there. I might try and get those last little bits off. I tried it two ways. I tried it with a knife. I tried it with a peeler because I thought a peeler might work. Both worked quite well. I did revert back to the knife because I was finding the peeler was being a little bit tricky, but you could certainly use both methods to peel. Okay, we have 8 seconds. We are coming back to here. So pour it onto the baking tray. Oh, wow. Oh, where's my spatula. Get as much of that out as possible. And the real key is to not leave it on the top there. Okay. All right. So I'm going to tilt that around. So it's to just spread it around into a thin layer. There it is. And then I am going to sprinkle apricots and things on top. I didn't actually say what size baking tray. It probably could have been a little bit bigger, but you know what? I think this will be fine. All right. So that's all sitting in there, and I'm just going to put that aside. And then I'm going to pop a litre of water in. Oops. I'm actually just going to try and scrape a little bit more off this rim here. Oh, I think I've just put more on. So very carefully, taking a little bit more of that off very carefully with a very blunt knife. I need 50 grams of white vinegar. Mixing bowl. Oh gosh, I still had water in there. Oh, hang on. Okay, so I'm going to fat or caramel. Here you go. It actually was going to stop at fat or caramel. Yeah, so that's going to clean it up. Then just before my guests arrive, I'm going to whip up the feta and pop it on a plate, or I'll just see if I've got a plate or a board or something. Yeah, a few figs, a little bit of prosciutto, and the crackly stuff. Can't think of what you call it, the brittle stuff on top. So I'll let you know what people think. Stop. What am I doing here?